To other fighters' path. Mary Sally walked down the high school hallway, the jeers and taunts of her classmates following her like shadows. Students lined the corridor, some pointing, others whispering behind cupped hands. She kept her eyes forward, jaw clenched tight. Psycho, someone hissed. Freak, called another. The whispers weren't wrong. Mary had been suspended from Westlake High after getting into a brutal fight with a group of seniors. She'd put two in the hospital with broken noses and one with a dislocated shoulder. The EP school board had finally had enough of her violent outbursts and expelled her permanently. Now Mary stood beside her father, Frank, in the principal's office of Eastridge High School, her last chance at completing her education without resorting to a GED program. Ms. Winters, the homeroom teacher assigned to Mary's case, looked over the transfer documents with a furrowed brow. "I see you were expelled from your previous school for violent misconduct." She peered at Mary over her glasses. Mary shifted uncomfortably under her gaze but said nothing. "I need to be clear, Miss Morgan. We have zero tolerance for fighting at Eastridge. If you can't control your temper here, I'm afraid there won't be many options left for you." "She understands," Frank interjected, placing a firm hand on Mary's shoulder. "Don't you?" Mary nodded half-heartedly. After leaving the principal's office, Frank pulled his daughter aside in the empty hallway. His face showed the weariness of a single parent who'd been down this road too many times before. "Mary, please," he pleaded. "You need to walk away when someone tries to provoke you. Ignore the bullies. Don't engage. But Dad, no buts. I can't keep enrolling you in new schools. This is it." He checked his watch. "I need to use the restroom. Wait here and then we'll get your class schedule." As Frank disappeared around the corner, Mary leaned against the wall, scrolling through her phone. A commotion from the adjacent hallway caught her attention, curiosity getting the better of her. She peered around the corner to see three students surrounding a smaller boy in thick glasses. The boy clutched his books to his chest as the others shoved him against the lockers. "You were supposed to help us pass that calc test, Alex," the tallest one growled, knocking the books from the boy's hands. "But you left all the answers blank on the cheat sheet." "I didn't feel right about it," Alex stammered, adjusting his glasses. "It's not fair to the students who actually studied." A fist connected with his stomach, doubling him over. Mary watched her father's words echoing in her mind. "Ignore the bullies. Don't engage." She started to turn away when one of the bullies kicked Alex's backpack across the floor, spilling its contents. "Please stop," Alex gasped. "Those are my mom's medical textbooks. Should have thought about that before you decided how to be a self-righteous little snitch." Another bully sneered, raising his fist for another blow. Mary hesitated, then pulled out her phone and began recording. The movement caught the eye of the third bully, who whirled around. "Hey, what do you think you're doing?" he demanded, stalking toward her. Mary kept filming, documenting three losers ganging up on one guy. "Seems like fair evidence to me. Hand me that phone." The bully demanded, reaching for it. Mary pulled back. "No way." The tall bully abandoned Alex and joined his friend. "New girl thinks she's tough. Let's show her how we welcome transfer students at East Ridge." The first punch came fast, but Mary was faster. Years of karate training kicked in as she sidestepped, letting momentum carry her attacker past her with a quick sweep of her leg. She sent him crashing to the floor. The second attacker came at her with a wild haymaker that she ducked under, responding with a precise strike to his solar plexus that left him gasping for air. The third and tallest bully hesitated, looking at his friend sprawled on the floor. His hesitation lasted only a moment before he charged. Mary pivoted, using his own momentum to throw him over her hip. He landed with a heavy thud. The wind knocked out of him. Alex stared at Mary, eyes wide with shock and admiration. The entire confrontation had lasted less than 30 seconds. "Holy shit," he whispered. "That was incredible." Mary tucked her phone back into her pocket, adrenaline still coursing through her veins. "You should pick up your stuff before a teacher comes." The next morning, Mary found herself standing at the front of room 203 as M. Winters introduced her to the class. "Everyone, this is Mary Sally. She's joining us from Westlake. Please make her feel welcome." Mary scanned the classroom, her heart sinking, when she spotted the three bullies from yesterday glaring at her from the back row. Surprisingly, Alex was also there, sitting near the front, a tentative smile on his face when their eyes met. "Take the empty seat next to Alex," Ms. Winters directed. As Mary slid into the desk, she could feel the hostile stares burning into her back. Alex leaned over slightly. "Thanks again for yesterday," he whispered. "I'm Alex Chen." "I didn't do it for you," Mary replied coolly. "I just hate bullies." After the final bell, Mary headed for the bus stop, only to find Alex jogging to catch up with her. "Hey, Mary, wait up!" She kept walking. "What do you want? I just wanted to say thanks properly," Alex said, falling into step beside her. "No one's ever stood up for me like that before. Whatever, just stay out of trouble. Can I ask you something? Where did you learn to fight like that? It was like watching a movie or something." Mary sighed. "My dad runs a karate dojo. I've been training since I was 5. Alex's eyes lit up. Would you teach me just some basics so I can defend myself?" "No way. I'm already on thin ice at this school. Besides, you don't look like fighter material." "Please," Alex persisted. "My mom runs a small diner and sometimes drunk customers give her trouble. Last night, 2 guys ate and refused to pay. When I tried to confront them, they knocked me around pretty bad. I need to be able to protect her." Mary stopped walking and looked at Alex. Really looked at him. She noticed the fresh bruise near his temple that he'd tried to hide with his hair. Something in his plea resonated with her. She'd started training for similar reasons, to protect herself in a world that often seemed determined to knock her down. "Fine," she relented. "But we do this my way. My dad's dojo after school. Tomorrow don't be late." The next day, Mary was at her locker when Vanessa, the leader of the bullies from the previous day, approached her with 2 friends in tow. "You're the new girl who thinks she's so tough," Vanessa said, slamming Mary's locker shut. "Hand over your phone. I want to delete that video." Mary met her gaze steadily. "Not happening. And for your information, going through someone else's phone is a violation of privacy." "I don't care about privacy laws," Vanessa snarled. "Give me the phone or else." Or else what Mary challenged. Vanessa lunged forward, grabbing for Mary's wrist. It was a mistake. In one fluid motion, Mary twisted out of the grip and used Vanessa's own momentum to throw her off balance. Vanessa stumbled, catching herself against the lockers with a loud bang that echoed through the hallway. Students stopped to watch as Vanessa's face, burning with humiliation, straightened up and stalked away her friends, following quickly behind. From across the hall, Mary caught Alex watching, a look of amazement on his face. After school, true to her word, Mary brought Alex to her father's dojo, East Side Karate Center. "Dad, this is Alex. He wants to sign up for classes." Frank Morgan looked up from the registration desk, his expression brightening at the prospect of a new student. "Great. Let's get you registered." While Alex filled out the paperwork, Frank pulled Mary aside. "Making friends already?" "That's good to see." "He's not my friend," Mary insisted. "He just needs to learn how to defend himself." Frank smiled knowingly. "If you say so." Alex's first lesson was brutal. Frank had him practice leg splits until Alex thought his groin muscles might tear. By the end of the session, he could barely walk. "Same time tomorrow," Frank called as Alex limped toward the door. "I'll die if I have to do that again." Alex groaned to Mary as they left the dojo. "No pain, no gain," she replied. But there was a hint of amusement in her voice. The next day, Mary was summoned to the student council office during lunch. Inside, she found Vanessa, another boy named Tyler, and the student council president. "Kai Sullivan, we've received a complaint about you assaulting other students," Kai said sternly. "That's not what happened," Mary countered. "They were bullying Alex Chen, and then they tried to attack me when I recorded it. I defended myself." "Is this true?" asked Tyler, looking at Vanessa. Vanessa squirmed under his gaze but didn't deny it. "I see," Tyler said, turning to Kai. "Sounds like Vanessa's group started it, not Mary." Kai frowned. "That doesn't change the fact that fighting is against school rules." "Self-defense isn't fighting," Tyler argued. "I think we're done here." He nodded to Mary. "You can go." As Mary left, she heard Kai hissing at Tyler. "What the hell was that? You can't just dismiss her." Later during karate practice, Alex finally worked up the courage to ask Mary the question that had been on his mind. "Why do you keep to yourself so much? You're smart, tough, pretty. You could have lots of friends if you wanted." Mary paused in her stretching routine. "I don't want people in my life who can walk out whenever they feel like it. Friends are temporary. Eventually everyone leaves." "Not the memories," though Alex counted thoughtfully. Those stay with you good or bad. They become part of who you are. Mary didn't respond, but Alex's words lingered in her mind long after practice ended. That night, Kai hosted a party at a local burger joint to welcome back Brett Peterson, who had been suspended for bullying freshmen. The group Kai, Vanessa, Tyler, and several other student council members crowded around a table as Brett regaled them with stories of what he'd been doing during his suspension. Tyler sat quietly, clearly uncomfortable with the rowdy atmosphere. When the others started planning their next prank on the freshmen, Tyler excused himself to get some air. Kai followed him outside. "What's your problem tonight?" Kai demanded. "This isn't what student council is supposed to be about," Tyler replied. "We're turning into a gang, not student leaders." Kai's eyes gleamed. "Speaking of gangs, I've been talking to Mike Stone. He runs the downtown crew." "You can't be serious," Tyler said. "August, those guys are dangerous, Kai. They deal drugs, rob stores. They also have connections and protection," Kai interrupted. "Mike says I just need to pay the entry fee, and I'm in." "This is insane," Tyler argued. "You're throwing away your future." Kai just shrugged. "The decision's already made. I've almost got the money together." The next day, Mike Stone himself showed up at East Ridge, sauntering into the student council office like he owned the place. Tall and intimidating with a scar running through his eyebrow, he commanded attention. "So you're the kid who wants to join up," Mike said, eyeing Kai. "You got my money." "Almost," Kai replied nervously. "Just need a few more days." Mike nodded, then turned his attention to Tyler. "And you must be the boxer. I've heard about Tyler, right?" Tyler stiffened. "How do you know about me? Word gets around. I saw your championship fight last year." "You've got serious talent." Mike smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "For you, I'd waive the entry fee. Having a boxer in our crew would be valuable." "I'm not interested," Tyler said firmly. "Think about it," Mike insisted. "You'd have respect protection money. What else could you want?" "A clean record and a future," Tyler replied, walking out of the office. Frustrated by his inability to pay the gang entry fee and angered by Tyler's rejection, Kai lashed out. "Brett," he ordered, "bring me that Alex kid. I need to blow off some steam." Brett grinned maliciously with pleasure. In the school hallway, Alex was gathering books from his locker when Brett and another bully approached him. "Council wants to see you, nerd," Brett sneered, grabbing Alex's arm. In his mind, Alex imagined himself executing a perfect countermove, just as Mary had shown him. He saw himself striking with precision, sending the bullies running in fear. Reality was much harsher. When Alex tried to break free, Brett easily overpowered him, slamming him against the lockers as they began to drag him away. Tyler appeared. "Let him go," Tyler commanded. "Stay out of this," Brett warned. "Kai's orders." "I don't care whose orders they are," Tyler replied, stepping forward. Brett released Alex to confront Tyler, but before the situation could escalate further, Brett's buddy spotted Mary approaching. "Guys, it's her, the karate girl," he warned. Mary walked up to Alex, ignoring the tension. "Ready for practice. My dad's waiting." As she led Alex away, Brett made one last attempt to assert dominance. He grabbed Mary's shoulder from behind. It was a critical mistake. In one lightning-fast movement, Mary grabbed his wrist, twisted it behind his back, and forced him to his knees. "Touch me again," she whispered in his ear, "and you'll need more than a suspension to recover." She released him and continued walking with Alex, leaving Brett nursing his wrist and his wounded pride. Tyler, impressed by her skills and courage, jogged to catch up. "That was amazing," he said. "Where are you guys going?" "Karate practice," Alex replied. Tyler hesitated, then asked, "Would it be okay if I join you?" Mary eyed him suspiciously. "Why, so you can report back to your bully friends?" "No," Tyler said earnestly. "I want out of that group. I want to learn how to defend myself without hurting others like you just did." Mary studied him for a moment, then shrugged. "It's your funeral." At the dojo, Frank was surprised to see not one, but two new faces accompanying Mary. "The more the merrier," he said, handing Tyler a registration form. Unlike Alex, who wanted to learn offensive techniques to protect his mother, Tyler expressed interest only in defensive moves. When Mary questioned him about it, Tyler explained, "I used to box competitively. I know how to hurt people. What I need to learn is restraint." As the days passed, an unlikely friendship formed between Mary, Alex, and Tyler. Each afternoon, they trained together at the dojo, pushing each other to improve. Mary, despite her initial reluctance, found herself enjoying their company. For the first time since her mother's death 3 years ago, she felt something close to belonging. One evening, Frank announced he needed to attend a regional karate instructors conference for the weekend. "Keep practicing while I'm gone," he told the three teenagers. "Mary, you're in charge of their training." After Frank left, Tyler approached Mary and Alex with a mischievous grin. "I've got 3 tickets to the new action movie tonight. What do you say we take a break and have some fun?" "I don't know," Mary hesitated. "My dad said to keep practicing." "Come on," Alex pleaded. "We've been training nonstop all week. One night off won't hurt." Mary relented, and for the first time in years, she allowed herself a carefree evening with friends. They laughed through the movie, throwing popcorn at each other during the cheesy dialogue and cheering during the fight scenes. That's not how a real fight works. Mary scoffed at one particularly over-the-top sequence. "It's just a movie," Tyler laughed. "It's supposed to be unrealistic." After the movie, Alex insisted they visit his mother's diner. "She makes the best burgers in town," he promised. Mrs. Chen's face lit up when she saw her son walk in with friends. "Alex, you didn't tell me you were bringing guests." She hurried over to their booth, wiping her hands on her apron. "Mom, these are my friends from karate class, Mary and Tyler." Mrs. Chen beamed at them. "Thank you for being friends with my Alex. He's always had a hard time fitting in." She ignored Alex's embarrassed protests and insisted on serving them her special house burgers on the house. As they ate, Mary observed the warm interaction between Alex and his mother. There was genuine love there, something she'd almost forgotten existed in parent-child relationships. Her own relationship with her father had become strained after her mother's death, focused more on discipline than affection. Later, as Tyler walked Mary home, they stopped at a convenience store for sodas. Sitting on a curb outside, Mary finally asked the question that had been nagging at her. "Why did you join karate? You were already part of the popular crowd. You didn't need us." Tyler took a long sip of his drink before answering. "I started boxing when I was 8. My coach was this hard ass who believed in toughening boys up. He'd make us fight each other until someone was bleeding. Said it built character." Tyler's eyes darkened at the memory. "I got good really good, but I also got angry. Started picking fights outside the ring, hanging with the wrong crowd." "So what changed?" Mary asked. "I broke a kid's jaw in a street fight last year. He was in the hospital for weeks." Tyler's voice cracked slightly. "That's when I realized I was becoming exactly what my coach wanted: a weapon, not a person." He looked at Mary. "When I saw you take down Brett without actually hurting him, I knew that's what I needed to learn. Control, not just power." Mary felt a surge of unexpected emotion. She understood what it meant to feel like a weapon rather than a person. "I can help you with that," she said softly. The next day at school, Tyler encountered Kai in the hallway. The gang leader, Mike Stone, had been pressuring Kai about the entry fee, and Kai's patience was wearing thin. "I need more time," Kai insisted over the phone as Tyler approached. "You've had enough time," Mike's voice growled through the speaker. "Either pay up by Friday or forget about joining." Kai ended the call and noticed Tyler. "I got it," he announced proudly. "The entry fee. I'm meeting Mike tomorrow to make it official." "You're making a huge mistake," Tyler warned. "The mistake was thinking you were my friend," Kai snapped. "Real friends support each other. Real friends don't let each other throw their lives away," Tyler countered. Kai's face contorted with rage. "You think you're better than me now, hanging out with that psycho girl and her pet nerd." He stepped closer, poking Tyler in the chest. "I'll show you what happens to traitors." The argument escalated quickly, with Kai throwing the first punch. Tyler blocked it easily, a move he'd learned from Mary, which only enraged Kai further. The fight ended with Tyler easily overpowering Kai, leaving him panting on the floor. "This isn't over," Kai threatened as Tyler walked away, furious at his humiliation. Kai sought out Vanessa. "I need your help," he said, explaining his plan to get revenge on Mary. "You hate her as much as I do, and if you help me, I'll make sure you get Tyler all to yourself." Vanessa hesitated. "What exactly do you want me to do?" "Just get her alone and slip this into her drink," Kai said, showing her a small vial. "It won't kill her. Just make her sick enough to teach her a lesson." After some persuasion, Vanessa reluctantly agreed. She texted Mary asking to meet in the student council office to apologize for their past conflict. I've been thinking about how I treated you, Vanessa said when Mary arrived offering her a can of soda. It wasn't cool. Mary, suspicious but willing to hear her out, accepted the drink but didn't open it. So what's going on with you and Tyler? Vanessa asked casually. Are you two dating or what? We're just training partners, Mary answered, setting the unopened can on the table. Really? Because he's always looking at you like. Vanessa trailed off, noticing Mary's disinterest in the drink. She suddenly felt sick about what she'd almost done. Actually, that drink might be expired. Let me get you a fresh one. As Vanessa reached for the can, the door burst open. Kai strode in with Brett following closely behind. What's taking so long? Kai demanded. He spotted the unopened drink and Mary's weary expression. You didn't do it, did you? He accused Vanessa. Do what Mary asked, standing up. Nothing. Just get out of here. Vanessa snapped at Mary, surprising herself with her protectiveness. Kai backhanded Vanessa, sending her sprawling. Useless, he spat. Brett grabbed Morgan. I'll handle this myself. Brett lunged at Mary, managing to catch her off guard. He locked his massive arm around her neck in a chokehold, restricting her movement. Mary struggled, but Brett's grip was surprisingly strong. Meanwhile, Alex had overheard two students discussing Mary being summoned to the student council office, where Kai was waiting, and his instincts told him something was wrong. He raced to find Tyler, who was finishing up basketball practice. I think Mary's in trouble, Alex gasped. Tyler didn't hesitate. He called Kai's cell phone, which was answered on the second ring. Where's Mary? Tyler demanded. Kai's laugh sent chills down Tyler's spine. If you want to see your karate girlfriend again, you and the nerd better get to the gym alone. No teachers. Tyler and Alex sprinted to the gymnasium, only to find it dark and seemingly empty. As they ventured further inside, the heavy doors slammed shut behind them. The lights flickered on, revealing Brett and several other members of Kai's crew surrounding them. Glad you could make it. Brett sneered. Kai's finishing up with your friend. Tyler's combat instincts kicked in. Alex, remember what Mary taught you. Back-to-back defensive stance. The two positioned themselves as they'd practiced facing outward against their opponents. The first attacker charged at Tyler, who sidestepped and used the boy's momentum to throw him to the ground. A move Mary had drilled into him repeatedly. Alex faced his own challenger, his hands trembling slightly but his stance solid. When the bully swung, Alex blocked and countered with a precise strike to the solar plexus, just as Mary had shown him. To his amazement, his attacker doubled over, gasping for breath. Together they fought their way through Kai's crew, their weeks of training paying off in unexpected ways. Brett, seeing his friends fall, hesitated before joining the fray. It was all the opening Tyler needed to land a perfect roundhouse kick to Brett's chest, sending him crashing into the bleachers. Where's Mary? Tyler demanded, grabbing Brett by the collar. Student council office, Brett wheezed. They raced through the empty hallways, adrenaline fueling their sprint. When they burst into the student council office, they found a disturbing scene. Mary tied to a chair, a thin trickle of blood running from her split lip, and Kai pacing before her. One more step and she gets it. Kai threatened, pressing a pocket knife against Mary's throat. You've lost your mind, Tyler said, trying to keep his voice steady. This isn't a gang initiation anymore. This is assault and kidnapping. Shut up and kneel. Kai snarled, pressing the knife harder against Mary's skin. I want to see the mighty Tyler Evans on his knees. Tyler slowly sank to his knees, buying time, while Alex edged along the wall unnoticed by Kai, whose attention was fixed on Tyler. That's better, Kai sneered, kicking Tyler in the ribs. Not so tough now, are you? As Kai drew back his foot for another kick, Alex launched himself forward, driving his shoulder into Kai's back. The surprise attack sent Kai stumbling forward, the knife clattering to the floor. In the chaos, Tyler managed to untie Mary, who sprang up from the chair with fury in her eyes. Free from her restraints, Mary became a whirlwind of precision and power. Kai barely had time to regain his balance before Mary delivered a devastating combination of strikes that left him dazed and defenseless. A final swift kick sent Kai crashing into the wall, where he slumped to the floor. Defeated, Mary stood over him, breathing hard, her fists still clenched. Is he? Alex began. He's fine, Mary said, her voice cold. Just knocked out. As they left the office, they found Vanessa waiting in the hallway, her phone in her hand. I called the police, she said. They're on their way. 3 months later, Eastside Karate Center was bustling with new students. The incident at Eastridge High had made the local news, bringing unexpected publicity to Frank's dojo. The story of Mary Tyler and Alex standing up to bullies had inspired many students, particularly girls, to sign up for self-defense classes. Frank watched proudly as Mary led a group of new female students through basic blocking techniques. In the corner, Alex helped a younger boy perfect his stance, while Tyler demonstrated a defensive throw to another group. Remember, Mary told her class, "Karate isn't about hurting others. It's about protecting yourself and the people you care about." Her eyes met Tyler's across the room and they shared a smile. In the aftermath of the confrontation, both Kai and Brett had been expelled and faced juvenile detention. The school had implemented a strict anti-bullying program, with Tyler serving on the committee. As for Mary, she had finally found her place not as a loner with a chip on her shoulder, but as a leader and teacher. The anger that had defined her for so long had transformed into purpose. After class, as the last students filed out, Mary Tyler and Alex sat together on the training mats, exhausted but content. "My mom wants you guys to come for dinner tonight," Alex said. "She's making her famous lasagna." "I'm in," Tyler replied. Mary looked at her friends. "Yes, friends," and nodded. "Wouldn't miss it." Outside the dojo window, the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the parking lot. A new day was ending, but for Mary Sally, a new chapter was just beginning. The path of the fighter, she had learned, wasn't always about the battles you fought, but about the people you chose to fight for. "By the way," Alex said as they gathered their gear, "did you guys hear about the tournament next month? I was thinking maybe we could enter as a team." Mary laughed, a sound that had once been rare, but was becoming more frequent. "You think you're ready for that? With you two as my training partners?" "Absolutely." As they walked out into the fading daylight, Mary felt a sense of peace she hadn't experienced in years. The lessons of the dojo, discipline, respect, and courage, had extended far beyond the physical techniques, teaching her that true strength came not from standing alone, but from standing together. And for the first time since her mother's death, Mary Sally felt truly strong.